So this little baby that you guys see on my screen was missing. Now the circumstances behind this little girl turning up missing, disappearing, or whatever the case is, was suspect from the jump. And I think I've told you guys plenty of time, if y'all have ever watched my channel before, where there's smoke, there's fire. And I always believe in looking at the source of whoever had the child last, which in this case, it seems like it might have been the mother. But that's generally when it comes to searching, you want to search that person, watch that person, make sure that their story makes sense. Because I never thought how this baby ended up disappearing made any sense at all. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Let's go ahead and get into the story and then we'll go from there. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. So I'm going to be using two sources. This one is from people.com, so shout out to People. And I'm also going to be taking a look at the Montreal Gazette.com. So thank y'all both for the article. And yes, I did show the little girl's face. Here's the thing. We're talking about trying to find the baby. It was imminent to save her life. So her picture already ended up needing to be public so people knew what to look for, who to look for, and to report it as quickly as possible. They were able to do that. We'll show the mom's video, crazy video here in a minute. A toddler who went missing for 72 hours has been located by the side of a highway in St. Albert, Ontario. Of course, this is in Canada. According to the Canadian newspaper, the National Post, 3-year-old Claire Bell, beautiful little angel. We'll talk about the dog here in a minute. Let me go back to the little girl. This little angel right here went missing on Father's Day. Very recent. That was actually on our last live stream. Sunday, June 15th, resulting in a frantic search. In a post on Facebook, Quebec police confirmed that Bell had been located. So that's wonderful news, but that's not where the story ends just because you found the baby and you just go on. And the thing is we're talking about you need to find preventatives, right? To make sure and investigate how it happened and to make sure however it happened doesn't allow it to happen again, if that makes sense. So a lot of people might be wondering, why is this like that should be the end of the story? Well, in this case, is actually not. It's just the beginning. She was found in the afternoon of Wednesday, June the 18th, 90 miles from her home in Montreal. 90 miles. How many of you guys believe that a 3-year-old would know how to navigate, walk, survive, eat, drink, take care of herself, protect herself from the wild, from the elements at 3 years old and make it 90 miles away from home on her own? Anybody believe that? Because I don't. I never did. In my humble opinion, everything about this said, Mom has something to do with this. Tommy Todd said, no way. I agree. Thank you. I'm just like, hey, there's no freaking way. This baby was taken and dumped. The real question is when did they dump her? So I'm assuming they might have dumped her maybe by the second day. I don't see this baby surviving and doing very well in 72 hours. That's a long time for anybody to just be dumped in the middle of nowhere, not know where to go and not know what to do. But I don't doubt the indomitable spirit of children and God's loving protection around this baby. Maybe she did survive a whole 72 hours. It's just kind of hard to know. Claire Bell, 3 years old, of LaSalle, was located alive at around 3 p.m. near Highway 417. Again, let me say that again. Nearby the highway. That sounded like she was dumped off by Highway 417 in Ontario by our colleagues from the Ontario Provincial Police. authorities wrote in French. Thank you for all sharing your thoughts. A press conference is scheduled for around 7 p.m. in the St. Albert, Ontario. Per the National Post, police are adding that finding Bell alive was the best result they could have imagined, because this normally don't turn out that well for missing kids. As reported by the Montreal Gazette, which I'll go and read their article here in a second, the girl had last been seen Sunday around 2 p.m. in southeast Ontario. The Gazette noted that hundreds of police and civilian volunteers participated in the search for her, with one telling the outlet that the toddler's disappearance was very frightening and very sad. Even the news people were getting choked up. They were crying and stuff. Y'all see the videos. I'll let y'all take a look at it. But I'm like, I feel where they're coming from, because they're just like, they look at this little girl like she's so innocent. That could have been their baby. It's like they can relate to that. This little girl looks like it could have been, even if you want to just chalk it up to race. Any of us, it matters more when the children look like they come from our lineage, right? That's just the natural thing. Canadian news outlet CTV described the frantic search for Bale, noting that the girl was found wandering alone near a highway on Ontario. The outlet also reported that the little girl had eventually been located by a drone search after a tip-off. Her mother, by the name of Rachel Todd, let me get her face up on the screen. That's part of her face. But we're going to put a whole face out there. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Right here. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. How you doing? How you doing? That's Mom. Rachel Todd reported her missing Sunday at 3:30 p.m. in the I can't read that. Coteau de Lac, roughly 60 miles from where she was last seen. The outlet noted that the mother, Rachel Todd, was arrested and subsequently charged with child abandonment. Let me say that again. Mom, who reported this girl missing, was charged with child abandonment, right? So that would point to the fact that Mom did something wrong. There's enough probable cause that they believe they could get a conviction in court, and they said, we're going to charge you and arrest you. You did something wrong in our opinion, which makes sense. Per the Gazette, the Montreal Gazette, the mother, Rachel Todd, appeared at the Valleyfield Courthouse on Wednesday and remains in custody. Proceedings have been paused until Friday, June the 20th. According to the outlet, police are looking for a woman thought to be a witness in the case. They report that she met with the mother on the day of Clara Bale's disappearance and is a key to tracing the toddler's movements. For now, the investigation is still ongoing, and for the safety of the public, administration of justice, we object for now, police stated after being asked when Todd would be released from prison, as noted by the Gazette. People has contracted, okay, I can't read that. It's something Canadian, something Canadian. I don't know. Let me read to you guys from the Montreal Gazette, because some of y'all might be wondering, where is the biological father, right? Said, when was this? I gave the date, but I will give the date again. You might have missed it. I will give the date again. This girl was found on a highway on June the 18th. She was reported missing 3 days prior. Make sure everybody got that. Since the disappearance of the 3-year-old on Sunday, her father has shared a series of public appeals on social media, urging people to help with the search and come forward with their information. Of course, they already found her. I just want y'all to hear from the biological father, because we don't hear a lot of this. Not much is known about Matt Bale, who's 35 years old. The professional chef has not spoken to the media publicly since his daughter disappeared. In the aftermath of her disappearance, her mother, Rachel Todd, was arrested and charged with child abandonment. Like Bale, she works in the restaurant industry. It's interesting, okay? Now, according to Bale's Facebook profile, the two were engaged in 2021. Although recent TikTok posts by Todd suggests they may have been since separated. On Monday, Bell shared several posts on Instagram, including updates from the Sûreté du Québec appealing to the public. I don't know what the hell that is. That's some Canadian stuff, so I don't know what that is. On Tuesday, he posted several times again. One of the posts was a link of a Facebook message originally shared by someone who identified themselves as a family friend. The post included a widely circulated image of the girl smiling. Above the image, the caption reads, "Please, anyone in Jesus. Anybody in this area, if you live or work or have a business near the highway or side streets," I cannot read them damn cities. I'm sorry, I can't. He said to check your cameras from June 15th, for those asking about the date. June the 15th, around 9:40 a.m. to about 3 p.m. The girl was last seen around 9:45 a.m. Sunday near Newman Boulevard in Montreal's LaSalle borough. Her mother reported her missing nearly 6 hours later. Let me say that again. 6 hours later, and you'd have to ask the obvious question, what the hell took so long? Why? Why 6 hours? Anybody think that's a little bit weird? Because I damn sure do. 6 hours. I think 6 minutes would be too long to not know where your kid is, let alone 6 hours. Her mother reported her missing nearly 6 hours later, around 3:45 p.m. at a fireworks store in Côte-de-Lac, about 60 kilometers southwest of Montreal. Police set up a command post nearby. On Monday afternoon, officers found a dead dog near Highway 30. Why would I bring up a dead dog? Because that dog was her dog. That dog was owned by the family of the mom, from what I understand. Pretty weird, huh? Dead dog, missing child. And I'm going to show y'all that crazy video that the mom posted because I thought it was crazy. There was no Amber Alert issued. Police said that they did not have enough information or enough evidence to believe that the girl was abducted. Again, that follows under a qualification. If y'all don't know about Amber Alerts, just Google search it. It has to follow a criteria for them to issue an Amber Alert. The mother's bail hearing was set for Wednesday, but postponed. Prosecutors said that the investigation is ongoing and more charges could follow, and we hope that they will follow. So if y'all want me to show this crazy video to mom, please let me know. I'll let y'all take a look at this. Let me hit the fair usage so we don't get flagged by YouTube. I love you, YouTube. Please stop demonetizing my videos. Come on, let's go.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
If y'all would do me a favor, if you are listening to the sound of my voice, you can help our podcast. All you got to do is hit that thumbs up. We want to have one thumb up for everybody watching. So if we got 100 people, we want to have 100 thumbs up. Please hit that thumbs up. Let's take a look at this video. Let me put it on the big screen. Hold on.
You try that.
Wait. I'm going to make it big so y'all can see this. Hold on. I'll make an adjustment. All right. This is extremely short. Let's take a look at this. It's really, really short.
You try that again, and this is gonna get ugly.
That's her and her daughter. Something's wrong. She's mad at somebody or something. She looks hella unstable. I don't know. I don't think she needs to be a parent. I think that's quite apparent. Let's listen at this again. Yeah, she sounds crazy as hell. Let's listen at this again.
You try that again, and this is gonna get ugly. You try that again, and this is gonna get ugly. You try that again, and this is gonna get ugly.
Next thing you know, there's a dead dog involved and then a missing child for 3 days. And none of it adds up. Let's take a look at the news stories.
The missing 3-year-old Quebec girl has been found alive. Police say she was found safe this afternoon in eastern Ontario. Global's Dan Spector is following the story for us. Dan, how did they find her and how is she?
Donna, almost 72 hours after she first went missing, Claire Bell has been found a province away, alive and safe. Now police are among those celebrating the good news after 3 days of uncertainty. Bell was spotted alone on the side of a highway in eastern Ontario by an Ontario Provincial Police drone, about 100 kilometers west of where police began their search in Quebec. Officers say she was conscious when she was taken into the hands of paramedics and sent to a hospital nearby. Authorities in Ontario got involved today after police spoke to a witness who said she had seen Claire and her mother Rachel Todd on Sunday afternoon. This is the 4th day more than 150 police resources have been searching this area west of Montreal for the little girl.
She was speaking with the police officer. She was alive. We provided some first aid in water and food for now, and she's been taken care by the paramedics. So the priority is just to make sure she is okay.
There are feelings of jubilation now for sure, but of course many more questions have now emerged. The main one, how does a 3-year-old girl end up all by herself on the side of the highway? Was she out there by herself without food and water for the past several days? Her mother, Rachel Todd, had another court appearance today where she is charged with child abandonment. She has another court appearance coming up this Friday and remains detained. But for now, a major sense of euphoria has struck this whole area as the best possible scenario has unfolded. Donna.
All right, Dan Spector in Coteau-du-Lac, Quebec. Thank you. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Mitsumi is off tonight. It is a story that has captivated people across the province, and many were fearing the worst after a frantic 4-day search for a missing Montreal toddler. Well, late this afternoon came the confirmation of an outcome that everyone had been hoping for. 3-year-old Claire Bell found alive, safe and sound after a large-scale police operation spanning Quebec and Ontario. This is an image of her in a police car shortly after she was found, courtesy of our colleagues at Nouveau Info. The little girl was found wandering alone near a highway in Ontario. Denise Roberts joins us live from Coteau-du-Lac. And Denise, I can just imagine a lot of emotion after the announcement from police this afternoon.
Well, Maya, I think we were all feeling so much emotion as the news came in late this afternoon that Claire Bell was found alive. She was found alone at the side of the 417, and that information came from a tip today from a woman, an important witness that police met. This woman was located in St. Albert on a farm there, and from there police were able to conduct a drone search along the 417 where they located Claire alone but alive. And as they were sharing this news, Maya, I can tell you we were all feeling the emotion because day 4 of a search, you do not expect this kind of news. But we were so grateful to hear, and the searchers, everyone involved, there were cheers, there were clapping, cars were honking their horns. It was just a beautiful scene because really we don't have the answers yet of how this little girl survived 4 days, but she is alive, and we do know that she is in hospital right now where she is being just checked over to ensure that she is in good condition. But here's more from the police on the condition when they found her today.
She was speaking with the police officer. She was alive. We provided some first aid in water and food for now, and she's been taken care by the paramedics. So the priority is just to make sure she is okay. How is she healthy? And so that's the priority. And I know you all have a lot of questions about how is this possible, or how has she been discovered, where has she been. I have the same questions myself, but all I can tell you right now is we're happy that she's alive.
Well, that's exactly it, Denise. I mean, there are still so many unanswered questions here, but police are expected to give more details later tonight.
Yes, there's going to be a press conference held by the OPP and SQ at 7 p.m. and that will be in St. Albert. That's the location where she was last seen, where she was discovered today. And so we will hopefully get some more answers of just what happened in the days in between. And but for now, Maya, it's really a time to just be grateful that this story has the outcome that it did.
All right, thank you very much, Denise. And yes, it is very emotional. We appreciate your reporting. We know it's not easy to report on stories like this, but again, a good news story today, an outcome that we were all hoping for. Thank you, Denise. Roberts reporting live from Coteau-du-Lac. We'll speak to you again a little later in the newscast.
The mother of the Montreal toddler who was missing for 4 days appeared in person at the Valleyfield courthouse. She looked tired with dark circles under her eyes, wearing a gray sweatshirt and loose hair. She remains in detention, and a date for her bail hearing was set for July 3rd. We're not naming her because the judge ordered a publication ban on any information that could help identify the child. It was requested by the Crown and the child's family. The judge also banned the mother from communicating with the child and the girl's father. She's facing charges of child abandonment. If she's found guilty, she could have a maximum sentence of 5 years. The mother's lawyer said he's not requesting a psychological evaluation for now.
It's a person that's in very high distress. It's somebody who needs help. Right now, the defense is trying to get an exit plan for her in order to get her help as soon as possible.
The 3-year-old was found Wednesday afternoon by the side of Highway 417 near Castleman, Ontario, about 150 kilometers away from her home in Montreal. She had been missing since Sunday afternoon when her mother reported her missing at a store in Coteau-du-Lac. It wasn't until police tracked down an important witness that they were able to locate the girl using a drone. It's still unclear if the mother will face more charges.
We're still receiving evidence, so we're still looking at it, and if there's something else, for sure the Crown will take position on that.
The Crown says it will oppose the mother's bail because it's in the public interest for her to remain in detention.
Good evening. There are still so many questions about the little girl
dropped off on the side of the road. How did a 3-year-old girl manage to survive? Well, we're all in wonder today, and police believe they've been giving us more information about just what happened. They believe the girl was dropped off on the side of the road by her mother, Rachel Todd, on Sunday, and she was here the entire time while a massive search spanning 2 provinces was going on. Now, when officers found her Wednesday afternoon, she was alone. And they told us today that they gave her snacks from their backpacks, mangoes and Gatorade, before taking her to the hospital where she remains. Here's more on her condition today.
She's still in the hospital. She's with her family. She's doing well, considering that she's been 3 days outside. She's dehydrated, but she's doing fine. What the investigation leads us to think is that she was left there and she didn't move for 3 days.
Now, there are questions about whether an Amber Alert should have gone out. To many people I spoke to here today in Castleman didn't even know that the toddler was even missing. And it was only on Wednesday morning that one witness who had seen the mother here Sunday afternoon contacted police because he saw a message on Facebook. He said that had he been able, had there been an Amber Alert rather, he would have contacted them much sooner and the girl would have been found sooner. Now, residents I spoke to today are also just in disbelief about how someone so young could have survived so long on her own.
That's a miracle. Miracle. 3 years old, and she's still alive on the side on the road.
Whenever you have children of the same age, you just give that sigh of relief that thank God that she was found.
When I heard about it yesterday, that she had been found here, oh my God. That's impossible. A little girl like that, someone abandoning her somewhere like that.
And Denise, there were a lot of volunteers taking part in the search. You spoke to one of them today. They're so relieved.
Yeah, Mitsumi, they say this is their pay for what they do, because you have to remember, these are volunteers who come out and they spent days searching, combing through the fields, the forests, the rough terrain here along the highway shoulders, looking for any evidence that could lead them to this girl. And I spoke to one of the lead searchers, and he told me that even though the girl was found an hour away from where he was, he still feels like he found her yesterday rather, and they are just really so elated about this discovery.
It was such a relief. Was euphoria, I would say. It's incredible, and I think it's been 24 hours, and it looks like it. I just blinked my eyes. It's still there. It's the feeling. We're so proud. We're so amazing that's a kind of a miracle.
Now, an investigation is ongoing, and police say additional charges could be laid against the mother, who is still awaiting bail. In the meantime, they say that specialists will be meeting with the toddler once she is ready, and they're really hoping to piece together just what happened these last 3 days here and just how she managed to survive. Mitsumi?
Thanks very much, Denise. And that was Denise Roberts in Castleman, Ontario.
We do now have some breaking news to bring you on a story we're following out of Quebec on a missing toddler. Police have now made an arrest in the case, and the CBC's Sarah Levitt is at the police command post for the search, and she joins us now. So, Sarah, what more can you tell us about this new development in the case?
Yeah, Arthi, so the mother is appearing in court momentarily in a nearby courthouse. Rachel Todd is her name, 34 years old. Police saying that overnight, after having spoken with her, they felt confident enough to bring charges to the prosecution, who will lay charges of child abandonment. Whether or not there will be other charges, we'll have to see. Just a reminder of what happened here. This started all on Sunday at around 9:45. That's the last time that 3-year-old was seen. And then a kind of mysterious circumstances here, because between 9:45 and 3 p.m., it's unclear what happened. At 3 p.m., 50 kilometers away from the Montreal borough where she was last seen, the mother came here to this area and went in a store saying that she had missed her child. She was missing her child and couldn't remember what happened. So police now saying that they are confident enough to lay charges of child abandonment. I also just want to note that the mother appears to have had a TikTok account, something that the Radio-Canada has confirmed was indeed Rachel Todd's TikTok account. She posted a video. Now, we don't know the context for which this video was posted, but in it, we see her holding Claire, and she's said, "You try that again, and this is going to get ugly." And the
You try that again, and this is gonna get ugly. You try that again, and this is gonna get ugly. You try that again, and this is gonna get ugly. You try that again, and this is gonna get ugly.
caption says, "Have you come up against a mother with nothing to lose?" The SQ not commenting on that video, but that's the latest news that we have so far. This is going into the almost third day now of the search, and there's SQ officers as well as volunteer search and rescue crew out searching not far from here. Yesterday, Evening, they found a dog that corresponds with the dog that was said to go missing with the girl. They continue to search. They have dogs out as well with the search crew, and so they're hoping that they can find this girl safe and sound. But so far, we don't have any developments.
So again, crazy story. I wanted to make sure that y'all got a chance to hear all of that. Something is wrong with this mom. Something triggered her. Whatever it is, you still can't, and it doesn't give you the right to do your children like this. Here is my problem. People use too many excuses when they see mothers. And y'all know I'm not against mothers. I'm actually for mothers. I'm for good mothers, just like I'm for good fathers, right? Everybody should understand the difference. What I cannot allow to happen is for people to continue, and I'll talk about that here in a minute, to continue to make excuses for women and solely women, because if it were a man, a man would never get any level of excuses for his actions, especially when it involves hurting children or hurting animals or putting them in bad positions. We use things like, what was the mother's mental state? We use things like, well, maybe she was going through menopause. We use things like maybe she was going through what is it? Postpartum depression. We use things like she might have been on drugs. We use things like she was not in her right mental state. We use things like somebody must have made her mad. I wonder what somebody did to cause her to do this. Never and rarely do we point the finger at the person flat out and just say, it doesn't, like The Rock used to say, it doesn't matter what the reason is. Her ass needs to be in jail, period. For putting her child in danger, she should never have custody of this baby girl ever again. The father should get sole custody. She shouldn't even get visitation. She needs prison time, right? There's no way you can explain your daughter ended up 90 miles away from your home, missing for 72 hours, and you just didn't know nothing, right? But I thank you guys, and shout out to Dippy. I see you in the building. You said you would set this case today. Look, if more, I'm sure that's not going to be the end of it. So if more comes out, trust me, there's going to be plenty more to discover and talk about. Again, why this baby was missing, I'm glad that she was found. She was in pretty bad shape, but she's going to be okay. They had to put her face out there to know that who they were looking for. So that information was already public, okay? But nonetheless, I think there's way more to this story. If the father would come out and just flat out do an interview, that would probably give us a lot of insight. Like, were y'all having an argument? What precipitated this? That's all I want to know. So that way we can just tack on more charges and we can feel more secure in the time that she gets in prison, okay? So keep baby Claire in your prayers and pray that she can continue to grow up and become something great. Claire Bell is a beautiful little princess. Let me get my favorite picture of her back. Well, that's not my favorite picture, but I'm glad they found her. Maybe this one. I like this picture a lot. But y'all keep this baby in your prayers, okay? Because she needs some positive role models to help her grow up, okay? Thank you.